Hello and welcome back to another tutorial on Power Query. This is Trisha Jagtiani, and in this tutorial, I will show you how to use the merge query option in the Power Query for Excel. Merge query function is similar to the VLOOKUP function in Excel. So we could instead say, what is VLOOKUP to Excel? Merge query is for Power Query. Let's look at how does that work. If you look at my example sheet here, I have the employee list given to me along with the employee name, their employee code, date of joining, region, branch, and department. I have another list with me which has employee code, but it also has another information like their designation and their salary. What I don't have in the first list is the designation and the salary, but I do have the employee code as the common criteria. Just like in VLOOKUP, we need a common column. In merge query also, you need a common column. Just like in VLOOKUP, you need to have that common column required to have unique data in it. Similar to that, merge query also need to have the common column data which is unique. So now I'm going to start. I can see that because I have the employee code which is definitely going to be unique in both the cases, I'm going to use the employee code as my merge query value. So how will I work with that? Just in if it is in Excel, it will be a simple VLOOKUP function that would work. But if you're using in Power Query, you will need to use the merge query option. Now the question is, why would I do merge query if I can do a VLOOKUP function? Imagine you had a database that you want to download or export from a different system or an application. When you downloaded or got it from a different application, it was not clean. You had to clean all the data, do the filtering, the changing the case of the data, removing the spaces, everything you had done, and then you have to get the information from another database and do a VLOOKUP for that. Now, what you had to do was all the manual tasks before performing VLOOKUP. But if you had Power Query, the manual task will be recorded in Power Query as we have already seen in our previous tutorials. And plus the merge query, which is your VLOOKUP, will also be recorded. So next time when you come, you don't have to do all the manual tasks and wait for the VLOOKUP to give you the result. The Power Query, which has recorded all the steps, with the new or the updated data also, it will automatically work for you.
Congratulations on completing the business dashboard using Excel course. Ready to elevate your career? Join our postgraduate certificate in data science and AI and gain exclusive benefits like a complimentary Python programming bootcamp, 7+ case studies, dedicated student support, and access to our job opportunities portal. Don't miss out on this chance to transform your career. Invest in yourself today and join our program. Click on the link in the description to enroll now and take the next step in your career journey.
So let's move on and see how does that work. If you look at this database, I'm going to start with going on to or creating a simple query from this current database. So I'll go on to data. From the data, I'll go to from table or range, which will open my Power Query editor window. I have to, of course, say that if I need to create a table. So all these I've covered in the previous tutorials. Once I get into the Power Query editor window, here I'll first change the name of the query. It says table 1, I'm going to change it to employee data, press enter. I've got the first query ready here. Now what I need to do is I am not going to load it or put it on the sheet. I'm going to say I need to load it as a connection. So I'll say close and load to, so that it is just loaded as a connection so that I don't get that data again on the spreadsheet. I'll just say only connections, and now I can move on and create another connection for the another database. Let's look at another database that I have here. I'm going to again create a query from this database so that I have both the databases ready with me or the queries ready with me. Go on to this, I say yes for the table. So it creates a table for me. Once I have this table ready, I can go on to the Power Query editor because I don't need to clean this data. So I'm just directly going on to close and load. So I just say close and load to, and then I can say only create connections and click on OK. So once I do that, you can see that the another table has already been, or the query has already been loaded. Now the problem is we missed to change the name of the query. So I'm just going to name that query as containing additional data. So I'll just say additional info for the query name. So here I'll say additional info, press enter. So here I am ready with my data and I'm going to load it as a connection. So I have already loaded, so I just need to close and load. Now what happens is these both have come as a connection. Now I need to go back to my query in order to start merging the data. So I can click on any of the queries to reach the query editor. Once I get into the query editor, this time I'm going to use the merge query option to merge my databases and to get the result from second database. So what I'll say is under the merge query, just like in append queries, we had append queries or append as new. In merge queries also we have merge queries or merge query as new. If I do merge queries, it will give me the data or the information in the same query. If I say merge query as new, it will create a new query for me. So I'm just going to say merge, but if I do merge query as of now, it will load as a connection only because that is what we have done. So what I'll do is I'll say merge queries as new. So it creates a new query for me. So simply I will be able to see it when I go back to my spreadsheet, a new query created. Now what I need to do here is select the tables or the matching column to create a merge table. So what I need to do is the first table that I'll create from this list is my employee data. The second query that I have is going to be add info. Just like in VLOOKUP, we give a lookup value. We need to look for here also a common data which needs to be searched for in order to get the result. So here my common data is employee code. So in the first one I'll select employee code. In the second database also I will select the employee code. After selecting that, the join kind is something that I'll have to know what it is all about. When I say left outer, it will automatically pick all the data from the first one and only give you the result or the matching result from the second database. That means if the first database has the employee 1, 2, 3, 4, and the second database has employee 2, 3, and 4, it will give me the result as 1, 2, 3, 4 with the matching data, which is 4, 2, 3, 4 only, but it will still give 1 as a result also. So you will get the answer as 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look at right outer, it will look for all the options which are there in the second database. So second database only has 2, 3, and 4. So the resultant merged query will only have 2, 3, 4. The first one will be skipped because it is going to check the second database. From the second database, it will check for all the result in the first database. And so on. If you see the full outer, that means it is going to check for both the databases. If database 1 has 1, 2, 3, 4 and database 2 has 2, 3, 4, 5, it will give me the result as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so on and so forth. So you had more options that are available here. Because I'm trying to compare the data from the first database to the second database, I will say left outer, and you will see that the selection matches 114 rows after the first table. So I'll just click on OK. It will give me the result as to how many are matching. If there is any data missing, it will definitely say less matching in the list. So once I've done this, you will see that the merge one query has automatically come here. I can say all employee info. This is the name of my new query. And if I scroll it to the right, you can say that the new data or the new merged query option has come here. Now, what is this column? This column is your add info query, which has been added onto this particular query. Now, this add info query, you can see two arrows which is going on left and the right. What does it mean? Let's see that also. If you look at the result, it says table, table, table. That means the whole table has come here. And by clicking on this arrow, I can tell Excel what do I want from this particular database. That is the second database. I need not take all the columns. I only take the column which I want from the second database. So I need designation and the salary. Only these two things. Employee code is already there in my first database, so I need not tick on that. I will get these two information in the employee data merged with it. Now, the last option that it says use original column name as prefix. So what it will do is whatever the original column name is, that will also be added along with the new name that you're adding, which we don't want, which is add info designation, add info salary. That is not what we want. So I'm just going to say untick that and click on OK. Once I do that, it will start loading that information. And here you are with the designation and the salary added to your new all employee info query. Now you can go to close and load, but this time I'm going to say close and load to, and I'm going to actually load this data on my spreadsheet. So I'll say new table and new worksheet. Click on OK, and this is now loaded to your new worksheet. So now you can see that how it is similar to your VLOOKUP function, but where in the VLOOKUP function you see the formula inside the formula bar, here you do not see it because of course you see the formula inside the formula bar of your Power Query editor window. Hope you enjoyed the video. Keep watching for more of such tutorials on Power Query. Thank you.